Hey there, welcome to Go Far Girl. Today on Go Far Girl, I'm joined with Alexandra. She's an adventure junkie, travel photographer, and a full time mermaid. Known for capturing the wildest corners of the world with a camera in one hand and a tail in the other, Alexandra dives headfirst into epic experiences to inspire others to chase magic and memories. But today, she's here to talk about a completely different kind of story, which is a medical emergency that she had abroad, tested her resilience, left her realizing she's capable of so much more than she ever imagined. So, Alexandra, welcome. I'm so happy to see you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so fun to be on this show.
I'm so stoked. And it's like kind of like going to be a weird subject, right? We're like, oh, it's a medical emergency. I'm so excited to talk
Yeah.
about this. But I am because like not everything is perfect and rosy all the time.
It's very
And
true.
sometimes these experiences are the ones that were like, yeah, I did that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
plus, like, I think it's good for people to know that, like, it's not all Instagram worthy, right? Sometimes, like, it just sucks.
Oh, yeah. We have to be authentic because I do have a lot of really cool stories that I'm like, yes, I did this and I checked this off my bucket list. But man,
Yeah.
they're like, tell me a real story when you were
Yeah.
just like scared and didn't know what to do. And I was like, I'm about to hit you with this story. And every time they're like, wait, what?
Bring it. All right. So,
Bring it on.
backstory. Where were you?
Okay, so I was in Vietnam and I actually decided because I moved to England when I was 18 and spent all of my university years there. And then afterwards, after I was done with uni, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go backpacking. So I was on the road for a long time. Like it was like 6 or 7 months that I was just traveling straight, like in
Same.
and out of hostels, out of backpacks. And I was in Vietnam and I was doing a dive. And I was traveling with a group, but I wasn't traveling with anybody. Like I was just by myself and nobody wanted to go diving with me. And I was like, whatever, that's fine. I'll go by myself. So I went diving and I had a piercing in my ear. I had two piercings and it was kind of like in the upper side of my
Okay.
ear.
Yeah.
And I think I just jumped out of the boat. If nobody's divers here, you kind of like grab your mask and just kind of step off the boat kind of thing. And I think I just knocked my earring. And it was like a year and a half after I had gotten this piercing. Like it was not new.
So it wasn't like fresh. You weren't thinking about it like
Right.
constantly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I could kind of feel that I knocked it a little bit, but anyway, I digress. So I had a great dive and kind of a mini adventure within the story is I lost my buddy. So like halfway through, I like was looking at this clownfish and I was like, oh my gosh, this clownfish is so cute. And then I looked up and everyone was gone.
Oh my
Like I
gosh.
was just like by myself. So I was like, okay, remember your training, Alex. Here we go. So like stayed down there for whatever, like a minute or two and then, surfaced. I call it like they were like a safety sausage where it like blows up. So it's like a rescue me kind of thing. And I just sat there for like a good solid like 40 minutes to an hour. And I was like, this is how I die. Like I just
Wait,
don't
even when you came to surface, you couldn't see anybody? Like,
know. Like the
no, you
boat,
were,
yeah, like we were basically there was a huge rock that was right in the middle and
yeah.
that's what we were diving around and the boat had gone the other way and I was flowing the other way. So it took them a long time to actually get back to me. And I was just sitting there. I was like, huh, okay, this is cool. And I think what happened is there was like sea lice, like little tiny things that were like biting me as I was in the water. And I think it just got in my ear and it just infected it so bad.
I'm visualizing. Don't love the
Oh,
story already, but
oh man. And I was doing great. Like I was fine and they apologized. They were like, sorry, we went on the other side of the rock. We're just gonna like take you to this pristine Vietnamese beach and give you all this really good Vietnamese food. So I was happy. I was fine.
I mean, for sure, that's a win, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I was happy. It still ended well. Like I'm happy about it. Little did I know what was just brewing in my ear.
Could you feel like you knew you hit your earring, but then could you feel anything like while you were in the water? Like, did you immediately know this is something's weird with this, or was it like,
No,
okay,
no,
so a
I
couple
didn't notice it
days?
at all. Yeah. And then the next morning I woke up and I was like, something's wrong. Like I can't, but I still like tried to go. I tried to clean it really well. And then I ended up like talking to the person who pierced it and was like, I don't know what to do. She was like, oh, just do this. And I was like, girl, I'm not in America right now. Like, I am so far away. I don't know what to do. So then what happened was I tried to take it out in the airport because I was going to Ho Chi Minh and it wasn't coming out. There was like some people who saw me crying in the bathroom and they were like, we'll go get help. And they were like, go to an ER right away as soon as you land, which is what you want to be told when you're traveling abroad. Like you're 20 years old traveling
Exactly.
abroad. That's exactly the words you want to hear is
And
go
you're
to
about
an
to get on a
ER.
flight. It's not like you're gonna like go do it right that second. So then the whole time I'm like, oh my gosh, the pressure. What about this? What about that?
Oh yeah. I'm like seriously sitting here just like overthinking everything that's happening.
Wait, do you speak any Vietnamese?
Oh no, no. I
Okay.
wish I could. I wish I could, but other than the basics that I did know,
Yeah.
just from
Okay.
traveling. So then I got there, and apparently all of their doctors take like a day off each week, and then they're just like on call. So this was not like a medical emergency. Like my life wasn't in danger, so they were like, deal with it. I was like, okay, sounds good.
Well, it's a mental health crisis, so yes, it is an
I know. I
emergency.
was like, I don't know what to do here. Ah. So I'm like in like the Ho Chi Minh tunnels, just like crying. Everyone's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I'm just in so much pain. Like I don't know what's going on." And it was really funny because I did find a local hospital, and they told me that I needed to be hospitalized and put on an antibiotic drip for like 2 weeks. And I was like, "Surely not." So I was like, "What do I
Like, this
even
is
do?"
really escalating from this isn't an emergency to hang on for 2
Right,
weeks. Like,
right, right. So I'm like trying to talk to my doctors back in the US. I'm trying, oh, yeah, it was just this whole thing. So by the time I actually did get medical attention, super gross, but my ear had gone over the earring. So yeah, like it had just like swollen so much that it just like enveloped the earring. So
I can
gross.
imagine how painful that pressure was too.
Oh
Like,
my gosh,
you
so
couldn't lay
painful.
down or do anything because that, I mean, is terrible.
Yeah, yeah, and
And
I'm
then
like
was it like
in like a co-ed hostel, so like it's not like I'm
perfect,
in a
perfect.
yeah,
Did
yeah.
you meet lots of mates? Did you meet like,
Yeah.
"Hey,
Everyone's like, "What is wrong with your
what's
ear?"
wrong
And
with
I'm
the
like,
girl
"Don't
with
look
the
at it.
ear?"
Just don't look at it, okay?"
Was it oozing too, or was it just like because sometimes it's gross when it oozes, but at least it
Yeah,
relieves some of that pressure, right? Or was it really just,
kind of.
like,
It was
building
just
up in there?
really just so red and so just angry. I had an angry ear.
Yeah.
Oh, it was yeah, it's just so painful. And then so we did X-rays because they were like maybe the back of the earring fell off. No, it was just underneath my ear. So they told me they were like we're gonna have to surgically remove it, which is the
Oh my
second greatest
gosh.
thing that you want to hear when traveling as a 20-year-old solo female traveler in Vietnam. Okay, so are you ready for the dicey part?
Bring it.
Okay, here we go. Hold on to the wheel. Let's go. So I go in there and I'm like, great, it'll be fine. They'll like put some numbing agent on it. They'll cut it off 5 minutes. Instead, a nurse came in and she held down, like put her forearm on my head and just like held me down to the table and they just cut it out. Just no anesthesia, nothing. And I just like sat there and screamed for like 45 minutes.
I am going to cry right now. Oh my god.
It was so painful and so scary. And and my family makes fun of me for this still to this day, but they would they were like obviously like cutting the earring out of me and they were like screaming Vietnamese at each other and I had no clue what they were saying. And then every once in a while they would just like look at me and they would go, "You pushed through pain. You so strong." And I would just be like, like I'm just like sobbing. So every time my family's like, "You pushed through pain. You so strong." Uh,
Oh my gosh.
so then she like grabs my earring and like obviously it's done and she like shows it to me like the bloodied earring and she's like look and I'm like like and then I was like where's the other one and she's like the other one's not infected. And I was like, get it out of my ear
Take it
right
out.
now. Take it out. I'm never doing this again. And then she starts cutting the other one. And I was like, girl, it's not infected. Just unscrew the back. And she was like, no, 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 no. So then it was another 45 minutes for her to cut the other earring out of me.
Oh my goodness. Why was there no anesthetic? Like, I understand you're not in the US, but you're not like in like the outback with just like
Right.
aboriginal medicine either. Like, you're still in a city.
Right. Well, no, and then the my little nurse friend leaves that was holding me down there, and I was like, "Where is she going?" And she was like, "Oh, she's gonna go get some anesthesia for the sutures."
Stop it.
And I actually was so close to madness by this point, and I was like, "Why wasn't that used?" She gave me some medical explanation, but I was like, I don't care. I don't care. It's fine. So she came back, but she cut open my ear enough where I needed stitches on that upper portion of
And
my
then gave
ear.
you anesthesia to suture it.
And I was like, at this point, I can't even feel my ear. Like, it's gone. I don't even know if I have an ear anymore. you know? And then I asked her, and I was like, I'm in some serious amount of pain here. Can you give me something? And she was like, oh my gosh, yes, girl, I got you. And she gave me a Tylenol, like an acetaminophen.
And how did that help?
Oh, it helped so much. Not really.
You may as well have like had a Skittle or something because
So that if you want to keep hearing about how this story develops,
obviously
um, yeah.
I'm
So
all in.
the, oh, because it keeps getting crazier. Well, not as crazy, but it just keeps going. So after that, the day after, I spent 16 hours on a bus crossing into Cambodia. So that's what I did the day after. I was just like a walking ball of stress at this point. And as I said, I'm 20. And
Yeah.
so I'm calling my mom and I'm like, I have never been tested this hard. Like, I don't know what to do. And when she wrapped my ear, it is actually funny because, I stopped at a couple locations. So there's just these pictures of me, these beautiful Vietnamese locations, like going on boats. And I just have like a huge ear bandage.
Oh, and then you probably couldn't dive anymore either, huh?
Oh, yeah. No, I couldn't get it wet for 3 months after this happened. Like, not even like in the shower. I was like, and she's like, you're going home soon, right? And I was like, no,
Wasn't the plan.
I'm still going to be traveling in 3 months. So there you go. But anyway, so she didn't use the non-stick gauze, so it just had like dried to my ear. So it took like these two men like an hour to like cut it out, like the gauze out of my ear. And so at this point, I'm just freaking out. I call my mom and I'm like, this is just like the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Like, I don't know what to do. And she finally got me calmed down. And I went back in. My roommate that I was sharing a room with is puking her guts out because she ate something weird. And no joke, I'm sitting there and a cockroach crawls across my bed.
Nope.
And I was like, nope. So then I called my mom back and I was like, mom,
Nope.
fly me home. And she, those like Snapchat filters where it's like it like superimposes your face onto things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So she superimposed her face onto a hot dog and she sent it to me and said, don't be a wiener. She's like, that's the only thing I can think of telling you right now.
Did you laugh or did you cry?
I did. Honestly, I was like, that's kind of what I needed. Just tough love and humor. That's totally what I needed.
You're like, okay, rebound. But you had to also just be like emotionally exhausted too. Like, and because like when you get like you go through something like that, and then once it's like kind of done, you just crash. But you
Oh,
can't.
yeah.
You still got to be on a bus, and you've still got to be like on alert, and you've still got to like be in public places and doing all these things. Like, when did you like come down? Like
I feel like I
London in
just
3 months, or like
didn't. Like, it was just, and it was also hard because like a few days after it happened, I went to really, really sad but very moving was like I think it's S-21 prison and like the killing fields in Cambodia.
Mm,
And it was so hard for me to be there. And it was kind of recent. So I got to talk to some of the survivors. It was, as I said, such an amazing experience, but it was so hard for me, not to like compare anything of what I went through to what they went through. But I was
right.
like, I get it. Like, I get like being held down and like having something hurt,
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
just, it was such an interesting experience for me to be able to like have just like a like 0.2% of what they went through. I kind of
Yeah.
understood. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was very hard for me to be there,
Well,
but
and
very beautiful,
it
very
was so
reflective.
recent and you were still feeling that pain and that emotion too. So it just like was kind of in your face.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my god.
it was very crazy. So I did get the sutures out in Cambodia, and they dropped me off, and they like didn't have sterile tools, so they ended up having to like bike down to the village to like get the sterile tools to take the stitches out. And I like made friends with the nurse. Like he was super nice, and he spoke really good English. So I kind of became friends with him. And after a while, he was like, "Do you want a snack from my village?" And I was like, "Heck yeah,
Always, yes.
let's do it." And he gave me a tarantula.
Oh,
And at that point, I was like, "This has to be a joke. I where are the camera crews?
yeah.
Like this just
Thought we
came
were friends, dude. Was kinda looking for something.
no, they left us. That's what they eat." And I just ate a tarantula in the hospital, just right there. He's probably like, "Watch this. This is gonna be the funniest joke ever.
Look what I get the American to do.
Like I'm gonna get the American to eat a spider in this hospital." That's what she needs right now.
I'm gonna tell her it's a gift so she can't say no. Um, okay, so how was that prepared? Was it, like, fried? Or was it, like, still
I'm
hairy? What was happening with the
not
tarantula?
sure. I didn't
Like, on a
ask.
stick?
Yeah, no, it was just like a little tarantula. It kind of tasted like beef jerky a little bit. Just like it's like it wasn't terrible. I didn't eat it all. I just ate enough to, like be respectful.
Hmm.
But yeah. It was just such a funny. I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, like, at this point, it is what it is. Like, sure, give me
You
the
know.
damn spider.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'll eat anything at this point. Whatever. It's fine.
Oh my gosh. Alright, so any, like, lasting scars, or did you get re-pierced? How's the ear?
Oh man. So it's not as bad. I think it could have been a lot worse, for sure.
Okay.
And I think that it was funny because when I came back to the US, I went to like an actual, like I went to what like my doctor,
Yeah,
and like the nurses in there like triaging and taking the story, how they do in a
yeah.
doctor's office. And I was like, "You want the long version, you want the short version?" And he goes, "I want the short version, obviously." And then I start going, he's like, "I'm gonna stop you right there.
Wait, give it
Do you
all
mind?
to me.
Do you mind if you just come out here and tell this? Because I'm gonna hear it. I'm like they're gonna hear it anyway, and they're all gonna read this. But we all need the long version of this story." So I went out there and told my story, and yeah, he said that it's always just gonna be like kind of hypersensitive. I do have like two little dots there, but it's nothing. It's nothing terrible. But there are some lasting scars from these two earrings.
You know he tells people about you though. They're like,
Oh,
"Oh,
I'm sure.
I'm headed to Asia," and he's like, "Oh, I had a patient once who like blah, 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 blah," and they're like, "Oh, okay."
Right. And I told him, I was like, "You can tell whoever you want because this is a weird one." And he's like, "I have never heard of this before," or just any like that is so traumatizing. I was like, "I know." Isn't that crazy?
Because I worked in a dental office before I started doing travel full time, and there are certain patient stories that like we tell everybody
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
they're just like, "What?" But like no one knows who they are or anything.
Right. We're still HIPAA compliant,
But
but
there's like certain stories that like everybody tells, and so I know you're one of them.
oh, I know. And that's what he was like, "These nurses, everybody on this floor is gonna hear this story, so you might as well tell it."
Maybe I hear it from you. I love that you can laugh about it now, though. Like in the moment when you're sitting there, like biting your tongue and like clinging for life as they're cutting your ear open. I'm sure you weren't like, one day this is going to be my favorite story, and I'm gonna go on a podcast and tell everybody.
Right. Yeah, like somebody, my pain will be used for entertainment later. That is what I'm here for.
I know, and I'm only laughing because you are. Like, if you were still crying, I would be slightly more sympathetic.
Oh no! I have to laugh about it. That's what taught me. You just gotta laugh about it, let it go, and there it is. It is kind of funny, and I do feel bad for like my poor parents and my best friend who had to. It was like 3 a.m. there, and I'm just calling them, and I'm like, "They didn't use anesthesia," and they're just sitting there going, "What?"
And you can't do anything either as a parent. Like,
No.
nothing even remotely the same. But when my middle son went to college for the first time, he would call me really upset in the middle of the night. He would be like, football's hard. Like, my classes are hard. I hate everybody here, blah, 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 blah. And then he would be upset. And I would kind of like, okay, you just got to get through it. Everybody's feeling the same way. No, everyone's having a great time but me. And I'm like, no, 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 it's okay. And so then I would stay up for like hours. I'd be like, oh my gosh,
Just
he's so
worrying.
he's so unhappy. He's so this, and I don't know. Did I make the right choice by sending? Like, he had choices to where to play football. Maybe he shouldn't have gone to this one. Like, blah, 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 all these things, and I would just be up all night, and then I would cry because I'd feel like such a piece of crap mom. So the next day, I would
Yeah, but
text
you
him. I'm
can't
like,
do anything, you know? Like, what can
but
you
you
do?
can't help, right? And I would
Yeah.
text him the next day. I'd be like, how are you doing? He's like, great. Why? And I was like, oh, okay, so you're good. It'd be like he just needed to vent, and then he was fine.
Right.
Like, as a mom, I'd be like, should I fly down there? Like, what should I do? Like, should I send him a present? Should I like put money on his Venmo? Like, what should I do? And he's like, what are you talking about? I was fine. I'm in
You didn't
class,
you, you
like,
didn't you didn't turn yourself into a hot dog and say don't be a
no,
wiener?
no. Now, when I knew there were drinking stories, and he sent me this one day, and his whole leg and left side of his body was like road rash. He's like,
Oh.
"Oh, I fell last night." I'm like, "Did you fall last night, mate?" You know? And then he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Did you fall at the frat house?" And then he'd be like, and then all the jokes because I don't care. But like, like, make stupid choices, win stupid prizes. I don't care. That's
With
on
stupid
you.
prizes. I love that. You know, I'll tell you a story that'll make you feel a little bit better as a mom, so that
Okay.
you don't say, "Oh, at least that's not my kid." On the same trip, you know, as I said, I was gone for quite a while, and I was in Thailand previous to this whole incident, and I kind of I just fell, like I just fell off a curb, you know, and I kind of skinned my knee, and we were going into Laos, you know, and we were doing this like pub crawl on the river. So it's like you get in an inner tube and then they like throw you a rope and you just go to pubs all along the river and then you just
Okay.
tube to the next one.
Water
But
and
anyway,
alcohol. Good choices. Good
yeah,
choices.
oh yeah, it's such a bad idea. But
Probably hot and humid already.
oh yeah, yeah, no, this was not a great idea. But they told me that I had to put like a bag over my injury just because like the water wasn't clean. And I ran into another guy with a bag over his leg in the same place. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude, what'd you do? I fell off a curb because I'm clumsy. This dude, he's Australian. Let's just preface that. So they're all, yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Him and his buddies got drunk and they went to this like archery range right next door. And he bet his friend that he couldn't shoot an apple off of his head. And he shot it through his leg.
Yeah. See, I raised 3 boys, so I
So
already knew
this
this story.
this sounds really you're like, oh, this is familiar. This happened last Tuesday.
Wait, is his name? No, just
He's like, don't tell my mother, and I just did on a live podcast.
and your grandma's gonna hear it too. Interesting. Yeah, they're so weird. Boys, not Australians. Boys, like, I don't get it. But yeah, so I was always that kind of mom that would just be like, "Well, are you gonna die?" But like emotional
Rub some
trauma,
dirt in it.
that would break me. Like physical trauma, I'm like, so is the bone in or is it out? But like if
Right.
they're like my feelings are hurt, I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do?
But it just made me like his attitude was so amazing towards
Yeah.
it that I was like, I feel like I need to go to Australia and find a husband. Like I want your level of calm
Yeah.
during this situation. Like it was
And
so
then you're
just
also
like
like wanting
commendable.
to
I was like,
unwrap your
wow.
leg because you just fell off a curb and like don't have a cool story. Or like you have to make
No.
something better. Like you
Oh yeah, no, mine was not cool at all. It was not like that.
That's amazing. What kind of things were you telling yourself? Back to the ear.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
like what got you through? Like your mom? Like I know she helped, but like how were you like, I want to go home? I mean, I know you thought it. You had to have been like,
Oh
screw
yeah.
all of this whole trip, this whole country. I don't want to do it. But then like you didn't. So
I
what
think it was just that I had so much left to do, you know, like on my trip. I mean, I still had like Australia and Fiji and New Zealand, and I was like going over to Hawaii. So I was like, okay, I just need to suck it up and just ride it out. And I think I just kind of realized that, this was happening to me and it sucked. It kind of felt like one of those dreams that you have where like everything's going wrong and then you wake up and you're like, oh, that was just a dream. That makes sense. But it's just I would wake up and I'd be like, nope, that actually happened.
You're like, nope, still hurts.
Cool. Still hurts. Awesome. But, just like honestly, just kind of writing it out and just being like, it sucks. I can't do anything about it. All I can
Yeah.
do is just, do my best just to try to heal it and still have a good time and live life. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what got me through it too.
Even though it definitely put a damper on your plans because I know you wanted to be in the water. I know you wanted to,
Yeah,
you know.
I did break that promise to my doctor like 3 times, and and how I tried to like MacGyver my entire side of my head with like band-aids. Like I had like band-aids like coming all down my face and like all around because I was just trying so hard
Because
to
like 3
keep.
months seems excessive.
Oh
Like,
my
I would
gosh,
give
I
you like
know.
6 weeks-ish, but 3
Right.
months is
three
like a
months
long time.
Yeah. So I think that's another thing that I was very, grateful for this experience is I was like walking around these waterfalls and like doing and diving down and stuff with like these huge things, and people would stare at me and I'd be like, I don't care. Like I just don't care. Like you can stare at me, it's not going to make me need like my ear magically heal. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not contagious. Go away.
yeah, it's not contagious. Don't worry about it. I'm just trying to survive out here, okay?
But now you can laugh about it. And now when little things happen to you, you can be like, oh, I just missed a train. That's nothing because I've had my ear sliced open with no anesthetic
Oh
in no
yeah.
time. So like this is no big deal. Like probably nothing is really that big of a deal at this point, right? You're like, it's an
Yeah, that's
inconvenience. It's just.
yeah, that's definitely something that I have like reflected on a lot with like the lessons that I've learned where I was like, okay, something crazy happened. I dealt with it. I didn't lose my ear. I was, my life wasn't in danger or something. And I just dealt with it. And that brings so much confidence,
Heck yeah.
where you're like, oh my gosh, like I did all of that by myself. I mean, I might have cried to my mom, but I was the one who dealt with insurance. I was the one who, even when I was in so much pain and, so it was really like a confidence booster. And it is like, I'm like, oh, things can happen while we travel. It's just not going to be that level.
Yeah.
And if I
No.
can handle that, I can handle anything.
And your mom can talk to you all you want. She wants, but she wasn't there. She wasn't there. You were the only one there. You weren't with a big group of friends. Like you had to suck it up really and just do it. And so that's so badass.
Thank
Like
you.
you were 20. You were just like, yeah, let's do it. That's so I mean, I'm not happy that happened to you, but it's very empowering and it is kind of cool that you did it. So
Yeah,
in
and you
hindsight.
just never know with travel, truly, and you just never know where you are. I actually had not as much of a health scare, but like kind of something similar happened like 2 months previous. I was in India and it was just so hot, and I think I had cracked heels, and I was walking around all these temples
Yeah.
without any shoes because they don't allow shoes in most of the temples. So I actually got cellulitis in my foot,
Oh geez.
and had to take like this train to Agra, and yeah, but anyway, so I got there and was like, please help me, and all of the doctors were on strike. So I never got any medical attention from it, and I had to I was prepping for medical school at this point in my life, so I just like read a bunch of like scientific journals and just self-diagnosed myself
I
and
love
got
this.
like black market antibiotics, like had like
Oh
and just like grabbed someone and was like, okay, where can I get these? And they're like, okay, down that shop, but it's a little seedy. I'll go with you. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I think at this point, my parents were like, we don't even want to hear from you until it's over. Like,
I
just
was
tell
just
us
gonna
it
say,
worked
but you
out
didn't tell
fine.
your mom that part, right? Because that's the kind of stuff that sends us.
Oh yeah, no. She was like, oh, just don't tell. And I was like, what do you want me to do? Not take them at all? And she's like, well, no, I just like want to make sure they're legit. And I was like, how do I tell? I
And
don't
what do
know.
you want me to do?
Like,
Get
what do
out
you
and
want me to do? I don't
a
have a lot
blood
of
test
options here.
kit and like scientifically examine the contents.
Luckily, I did have two nurses that were traveling with me, and they like looked up all the ingredients. So they kind of like looked it over, and they were like, okay, well, if it's everything that it says it is, it
If it
should be fine.
wasn't made right here on this corner,
Right.
you're probably fine.
Oh my gosh.
Look at
So,
you surviving.
it's just these stories that really, like, obviously they're not great and you wish they don't happen to you, but I'm just like, you know what? Bring it on. Anything that happens during travel, bring it on.
I know. Isn't it funny too? I feel like I'm like a different person when I travel. Like at home, you would do something totally different. Like this wouldn't be a funny story. You would be like, "Ugh, my freaking ear got infected, and now I got to do this." And
Yeah.
doctors are taking too. Like I would just be so grumpy about the whole thing. But now, like when it happens somewhere else, you're like, "Oh my gosh!" So this one time, I was like, yeah. And like it's just like a totally different. I guess that's why we should just travel full time so that we're happier about everything.
I know it definitely does put it in perspective for
Yeah.
sure.
Like, I had to get,
Because
like, an IV in Naples and all this antibiotics, and I spent the whole day, like, hooked up to IVs to, like,
oh my
feel
gosh.
better, and then, like, the next day, I just went out and had pizza and, like, was feeling like, I would have milked that for a week if I was like, "Oh, look at the bruise.
Look at the
Oh,
bruise.
I'm still
When you're
tired.
traveling,
We
you're like,
couldn't
oh, no,
even
no,
get
no,
to
get me out of here.
the" Yeah, I'm just
Like, I don't want to be here.
like, "So, got 5 more minutes of this, right? Because I got something to, like, go do in a minute." It was
I'm
just
like, yeah, man, if this is the US, like, people pay for that to just lay there with an IV. I used to be an EMT, so I know.
I was just sitting in there, like, listening to music. I was like, "Doo, doo, doo."
At least you got pizza afterwards. Like,
Right?
that's a pretty good trade
From
off.
Naples, hello.
Yeah, like the
Like,
best pizza in
come
the world.
on. So, okay, we can't end this podcast without knowing how you became a mermaid. So,
Oh, yes.
gotta
Well,
spill it.
it's kind of a different. So, after I was done with this, I kind of realized that I was like a very like adventurous soul. That was kind of who I am. But I ignored all of it. I ignored all the signs, everything, and I actually went to medical school in Hungary for a while, and then just kind of sat there and was like, "What am I doing?" Like, I just want to help people adventure and help people travel and, maybe put their mind a little bit at ease. If you are a female solo traveler, the fact that I did that, you can too. There's nothing special about me. You can do it too.
Yes.
So just, yeah, so I quit. I sold everything. I moved into an RV. And I just think, well, first of all, my parents got married underwater. So I've always just kind of been like
You
a
were born
mermaid.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're free and they're fun and they're adventurous and so that's kind of it just made sense. It was very authentically
That's so
me.
cool.
I definitely get a lot of looks in public, so it definitely has forced me to step out of my comfort zone even further.
Heck with it. And you only went to medical school so you could treat yourself when you travel without
I,
having to stop and chill. Don't "Oh, I just wanna help my
I know.
community." Right.
Right. Yeah, I'm like, doctors
I
are on
just
strike, doctor's taking a day off. I'll be the doctor.
I
Fine.
got it.
True.
My trauma has taught me to never deal with this again.
I will be my own doctor. Thank you.
I love it. So, right now you're in the US. Is that where you are for a while now, or do you have any other abroad plans, or are you just cruising around?
Yeah, just kind of cruising around the US. I am going back to Europe. I'm going to Italy in
Mm,
September. So very excited
great.
about that, going back
Yeah.
over there. Maybe I'll go to Naples, go get a pizza,
Yeah.
go get an
Do
IV.
Yeah, they're very good at it. You'll feel very good. Do you have a home base at all, or are you really just nomading it right now?
So a lot of my family does live in Colorado, so that's kind
Okay.
of like the home base, but yeah, we're not here very often. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
it's fun.
cool. Good for you. Very cool. Thanks for sharing your story. That was a lot of fun. I know it wasn't fun at the moment, but it was a lot of fun to hear about. And I think it's such a good example of just like, it's not always great, but it is always worth it. And
Yeah, and I'm so sorry if I mean, I know it's a very intense story, but I think I do like telling it to people because I'm like, don't be afraid. It's fine. I mean, like,
like,
that
what's
was
the
a
worst that could happen?
yeah, like that was a pretty bad situation, but like
Yeah.
I'm alive here right now and I did it. So
Yeah.
don't worry about it. Just do it.
Yeah. And I'm always like you. I'm always like, if I could do it, you could do it. People are like,
Yeah.
oh, I wish I could do that. I'm like, I am a mess. like, if I could do any of these things, everybody can do it.
Right?
Like,
That's what I was like, I'm nothing special. If I can do it, so can you.
yeah, just go. So very cool. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and telling us that story. I sure appreciate it. Tell everyone where they can follow your adventures. I'm going to put the links down in the description for people so they can find you, but go ahead and just tell us where we can follow all of your mermaid adventures.
Yeah, so I'm called the Bucket List Mermaid, and on pretty much all social media, I'm at the Bucket List Mermaid, or you can just Google the Bucket List Mermaid.
So
Easy,
cool.
easy peasy.
And you have a cheat sheet for photography. Is that right? Is that what we're linking?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I do.
I'll put that in there. It's always good because you travel and you see all these amazing places and things. And then sometimes you look at your photos, you're like, that's not what I was hoping for. So
Well, and I've done
everyone,
it. That's why I did that cheat
that's why
sheet
you
because,
learn the hard way. That's the thing.
yeah, I made the cheat sheet for myself, and then
And
was
then
like, everyone else might as well just benefit from
heck
this for
yeah.
free. So,
So definitely go and grab that because it always helps. You can always learn something new, and your memories and scrapbooks will thank you for having less lame photos. Is there selfie tips in there? Because my selfies,
honestly, I have not mastered the selfie game. I should, like, I feel like I'm born in the generation where like selfies were like definitely a thing, and I can't do it. I can't do
because
it.
my boys will be like, "Why are you holding it like that? Why are you doing it like that?" I'm like, "Then do it for me." And then they're just like, ugh.
Like, I'm trying my best. Okay.
Or like they'll be like, take a picture, and then I'll get like a list of instructions. Don't turn it this way. Don't zoom it in. Don't use portrait. Don't. I'm like, I just touched it.
You're like, it's
They're like,
fine.
they literally hand it to me like a surgical instrument. They're like, hold it just like
Just
this.
right here.
And don't even move. Like I'll move to you. Just I'll adjust myself. I'm like, okay.
Hey, they know what they want, and they're not afraid to go after that, and I respect that.
And 9 times out of 10, I just turn it to a forward or back facing camera and take my own picture instead of theirs anyways. So joke's on you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of myself, not you. So, haha.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.